Attention passionate Detroit Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the Detroit Lions aren't just another team in the league. They've become a true force to be reckoned with, especially as we look ahead to the 2025 season. And trust me, the recent developments around this team are nothing short of exciting, almost like a seismic shift in the NFC North, and it's got Lions fans everywhere buzzing. But let's roll back a little and set the scene for what's really happening behind the scenes, how this team has transformed over the past few years, and what it could mean for their future. The Detroit Lions, for a long time, had been seen as perennial underdogs, teams with potential, yes, but never quite able to break through that glass ceiling and make a consistent playoff push. But folks, that narrative has been changing rapidly. Over the last couple of seasons, under the leadership of head coach Dan Campbell, the Lions have embraced a new identity: resilient, gritty, and incredibly talented. They've built a team that now commands respect across the league, and their recent performances have only cemented their status as a team on the rise. The Lions are not just gunning for a wild card spot anymore. They're looking to dominate the NFC North, and honestly, they're well on their way. One of the biggest reasons for this upward trajectory has been the strategic development of their roster. The Lions have invested heavily in the draft, bringing in young, explosive talent that's already making an impact. Think about players like Aiden Hutchinson, the defensive end who's turned into a nightmare for quarterbacks, or the offensive line that has become one of the best in the league, giving Jared Goff the protection he needs to succeed. And let's not forget the wide receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown has blossomed into a top-tier threat, and the addition of some veteran playmakers has added depth and versatility to their offensive arsenal. But what's really changing the game for Detroit is their approach to team building. They've become more aggressive in free agency, targeting players who can elevate their competitive edge. This is a team that's clearly aiming for more than just a playoff appearance. They want to contend for a Super Bowl. And based on the latest reports and insider sources, the Lions are not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. The front office seems to have a clear vision for what they want this team to become, and that includes a relentless pursuit of excellence on both sides of the ball. Now, if you've been following the latest rumors and reports, you know that there's a lot of buzz about what's coming in 2025. Some insiders suggest that the Lions are preparing to make a splash in the offseason, possibly with strategic trades or signings that could bolster their roster even further. The goal? To create a balanced, explosive team that can handle the toughest defenses and outscore their rivals. And I have to say, the way the team has been preparing and the way the coaching staff is developing their young stars give us a glimpse of a team that's not content with just making the playoffs. They want to go all the way. Let's talk a little about the NFC North, because this division is shaping up to be one of the most competitive in the league. The Green Bay Packers, historically the giants in this division, are going through a transition phase with a new quarterback and some roster reshuffling. The Minnesota Vikings have been inconsistent but still pose a threat, especially with their offensive weapons. And the Chicago Bears, with their young core and a new coaching staff, are also looking to make a leap. But the Lions, with their recent surge and strategic roster moves, appear to be positioning themselves as the team to beat. If things continue on this trajectory, we might be witnessing a shift in the division hierarchy, one where Detroit takes the crown and leaves their rivals scrambling to catch up for years. But it's not just about the division. This team has its sights set much higher. The Lions have been steadily building a culture of winning, and their recent playoff appearances, though brief, have shown that they have the talent and resilience to compete with the best. Jared Goff, for example, has been playing some of the best football of his career, showing maturity, leadership, and clutch performance when it matters most. The offense around him is versatile and explosive, capable of scoring from anywhere on the field, while their defense has become a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, thanks to their pass rush and secondary improvements. Now, let's talk about some of the standout players who are making headlines this season. Aiden Hutchinson, the young edge rusher, has been a revelation. His relentless effort and ability to get to the quarterback have made him one of the top pass rushers in the league at such a young age. Plus, the Lions' defensive front is now considered one of the most formidable in the NFL, which is a huge reason for their recent success. On offense, Jared Goff has been efficient, throwing for over 400 yards in the last season with a career high in touchdowns and a notably low number of turnovers, which speaks to his growth and the confidence the coaching staff has in him. Meanwhile, the wide receiver core has been dynamic, with Amon-Ra St. Brown emerging as a true star, capable of winning battles in tight coverage and making those clutch catches in critical moments. And let's not forget about the offensive line, which has been instrumental in their success. It's no secret that a strong offensive line is the backbone of any successful offense, and Detroit's unit has been dominating the line of scrimmage. They've given Goff the time he needs to find open receivers and have opened up running lanes for their talented backs. This consistency up front has allowed the Lions to be versatile on offense, switching between a ground-and-pound approach and a more explosive passing game depending on what the situation demands. Looking ahead, the expectations for the Lions are sky-high. Fans are already dreaming of deep playoff runs, maybe even a Super Bowl appearance if everything falls into place. The team's management has been clear about their goal, building a championship-caliber roster, and the recent moves suggest they're not just aiming for mediocrity. They want to be among the elite, and with the talent they have now combined with their strategic offseason planning, they seem poised to make a serious push. The NFL is highly competitive, no doubt about it, but Detroit's recent trajectory indicates that they're not here just to participate, they want to dominate. Now I want to highlight some of the key factors that could influence their success moving forward. The health of their roster will obviously be critical. Injuries can always derail even the most talented teams. But so far, the Lions have managed to keep their core players healthy and fresh. Their coaching staff's emphasis on conditioning and player management has been smart, especially with the thick schedule of the NFL. Additionally, the team's depth is better than it's been in a long time, meaning they can withstand injuries to key players without losing their edge. One of the most promising aspects for Lions fans is the clear direction this franchise is taking. Ownership and management are committed to winning, and they're investing heavily in both talent and infrastructure. The new training facilities, advanced analytics, and focus on player development all point to a long-term plan aimed at sustained success. It's no longer just about short-term wins, but about creating a powerhouse that can contend year after year. And with the upcoming draft, free agency, and potential trades on the horizon, the Lions are positioning themselves to be a dominant force in the league for years to come. And let's talk about the fans for a moment, because their energy and passion are truly contagious. Detroit has always been a city that loves its football, and the Lions' recent resurgence has only amplified that passion. The atmosphere at Ford Field has been electric, with fans rallying behind the team through thick and thin. The sense of community, pride, and hope has never been stronger, and I truly believe that this is the beginning of a new era for the Detroit Lions, a team that's finally stepping out from the shadow of their past and into a future filled with promise. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these developments? Do you believe this team is destined for a deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl? Or are you cautious, waiting to see how things unfold in the next few months? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your opinion really matters, not just to us, but to the future of this team. Your passion, your insights, your predictions, they all fuel this community and keep the excitement alive. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and news about your Detroit Lions, so stay tuned because there's plenty more coming up. This is a team that's just getting started, and the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!